I made an extra 20 grand. This in our house starts in November and carries on till about March. I think we're in the point of the cycle which is the most exciting. Right now, this second.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to this week's instalment of Adam Asks Jess, where I put client questions or questions from our video comments to Jess. There.
Hello.
Different hats this week.
It's Christmas week.
Yeah. I like it. Right. Let's dive straight in. So, question is this.
The question.
Right. Why are you so confident that now is such a great time to invest? As in, right now. Yeah. So, a client of mine says, watching your videos, feels like you're banging the drum a bit, you're always looking really happy. Yeah. Obviously, apart from capital growth and ability to leverage, beating the banks.
Apart from that, extra to that. Apart from those things. Yeah.
Minor things. Why now?
Yeah, I read the comment, I read the question from the client. It's Christmas, isn't it? Christmas started. Christmas carols are, I'm always positive.
I hate Christmas carols.
Yeah. Christmas in our house starts in November and carries on till about March. So, yeah, I like Christmas. It's a family time, isn't it? So, seriously, why? I'm always generally quite positive, but right now, a load of different reasons we've covered, but right now, this second, I think we're in the point of the cycle which is the most exciting point of the cycle. And it's happening right now, and for all that means that lots of people are scared and worried. Talking about recession, we know, and I think people will understand this. You can kind of get it, you know it. You know, in a recession, 5 or 10% of people are screwed. Sad. Yeah. But the rest of you're fine. People will realise that in about a year's time. Think back to that. I've done 2 recessions now, and I've traded businesses through them both times. And there's a point when people realise actually everything's okay, and I've been okay all the way through it. I didn't get fired. I didn't lose my job. My business carried on trading. Some of them go up, some of them go down, but things go up and down all the time. Of course, some people do lose their jobs because of the recession. Demand cools off, and that particular industry dies down. Or there's talk of the zombie companies. Companies that are being sustained on a 0.5% interest rate on the borrowing they've had, and then they get a rude wake-up call, and they aren't really companies, they aren't really trading, so it kills the dead wood, which actually isn't a bad thing, is it? Of course it's a bad thing if you own the company and you're making a living out of it, or you work in it. Of course there's some sort of collateral damage, but effectively, people generally, it's a human nature. They panic initially, and then they gradually realise this doesn't apply to me if it doesn't apply to you. So I recognise that. We're buying in that bit of the cycle. Here's the thing. If in a year's time we look at a dip in the property prices, in a year's time, when did those properties get sale agreed? It takes, 6 months to 4 to 6 months to convey, and it takes about 6 months to write the number.
A massive lag.
There's a lag, yeah. It's now. So this month I made an extra. I try and buy a house a month if I can. If I don't, I try and catch up. It's this guy that holds me back by not giving me enough houses. It's your fault.
That client's fault.
Yeah. It's your. I made an extra 20 grand in my head. I bought a house today that I would gladly have paid 100 grand for 6 months ago, and I bought it for 80. I'd have paid 100 for it. When it's all done and dusted, I think it might be worth 150-ish. If I'm unlucky, because I'm in the middle of that dip, which actually everything lags, so I probably won't be. It'll probably be a little bit later on where that'll hit. Maybe it'll be worth 140, not 150. Yeah, so what? Yeah, the rebuild value of that house.
200.
Easy, yeah. 200, 225. We started putting a blanket cover on those rather than just try and get an accurate number. It's better for insurance purposes, but the actual real rebuild value, what a Rick survey would say will be anywhere from 185 to about 205, 210, something like that. So yeah, inherently built into that house is the fact that it's worth more. I don't think the prices are going to go, in the kind of house, we talked about this in loads of other videos, I don't think the kind of houses that we buy, if the market dips, then it's all the other kind of £1 million houses in the home counties.
They impact it massively.
Yeah.
People forget that.
A 2 or 3 bed family house in the kind of areas where we buy, I suspect will still be going up whilst other things are going down. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I'm making more now. Buying now is I should make hay while the sun shines, and that's why I'm chipper. We're buying loads. We're buying enough. Yeah. It's a bit hard out there, finding the deals. It's always hard. Actually, if it gets too easy, we're a bit suspicious because it should always be hard. But we're buying enough, and we're buying really well. So if you want to bag a bargain, do it now. Particularly, coming up to Christmas. Well, you know what happens.
It's always quiet. It's typical. People hold off to put a house on the market in January.
It is, but if you think, we've got buyers out there buying, and we always brief them that December's quiet. Absolutely, loads of people go away.
August.
And But if we're the ones that are there, we will get the bargain. If the call comes in, it comes into us. It's for us to buy, no other competition, and it will be cheap. Otherwise. Why is the phone call coming in the last 2 weeks of December? So you keep alive to the fact that in these last couple of weeks, if there's a deal out there, it could be a really special deal. Because otherwise, why are we talking about it now? Why aren't we waiting till January? So we bought a couple of really good deals in the last. I've seen. Well, I'm saying here, not to him. He knows. The last 7 to 10 days. Load good stuff that I wouldn't have expected in the 6 months ago. We wouldn't have been buying at that price. So more opportunities coming our way, which is good. That's why I'm chipper. Any other questions? Any other things we got? I'll tell you what. I made some notes. I'm just.
That was my only question for today. To be honest.
Do you want to talk a bit about the? We got those bank forecasts. I think that sort of plays into it as well.
We're shallow recession.
Shallow recession. We're privy to. Let's call it an anonymous source.
To be fair, after you told me, I started Googling it. It's the stuff out there.
It's out there.
It's secret.
Yeah.
It's just not in the mainstream.
It's private notes that somebody was attending.
It's not doom and gloom, so the papers don't want to report.
Well, maybe, yeah. Banks are forecasting their profit for shareholders. If you go and read, or if you're in the city and you're on a shareholders earnings call or a forecast call or whatever, this information's out there. But banks are. Thinking that the next 6 months, the first 6 months of 2023, effectively the next 6 months, are going to be tough. And for us, tough means buying opportunity.
Be greedy when others are fearful, right?
Mm-hmm. And they are expecting the whole year 2023 to have. What was the word they used? Something about shape. Fulfill the shape or meet to shape. What they mean is we're going to not make so much money there, but we're going to make that and more in the second half.
Yeah. Catch up
and more. But they use some sort of language to sort of disguise
it. Over the course of the year,
it.
They'll be well better off than everyone would have thought.
So if we're talking about a longer, shallower recession, well, the risk isn't particularly high if it's a shallow recession. Maybe the house that I think I bought cheap, maybe it's not worth 150 grand, maybe it's worth 145, 140. But I know by the time we've gone through a year, 18 months, it'll be 160, 170. If I have to wait another 6 months, wow, but I've bought it well, and you make money when you buy, don't you? And now's the time to buy. So all these predictions of a longer, shallower recession, they create more opportunity, particularly as that's skewed in the property market towards the end where people are panicking and I'm not buying anything. So if you want to sell now, and it's not that there's loads of volume in the market, but there's enough. If you want to sell now, you've got to accept our offer, and our offer, well, it's 20 grand less because we're buying well. Let's keep doing that. So that's why I'm chipper. I haven't got anything else to answer that. I'm just a naturally positive person, but I think that sometimes goes some way.
Yeah, definitely.
You were talking to me
about.
Noisy
out there today.
Well, there's
rowdy in the office today.
Rowdy in the office, and there's Christmas carols on. You were talking to me, and I think you should tell this story about the client.
About the Brexit one.
Yep. So it's completely irrelevant, But this happened.
Well, it's not. So
this is relevant, but it's not to do with today's thing. I've got Brexit's done and dusted. But what year was it?
It's along that theme of us talking about being greedy when others are fearful. So 2016, Brexit had started to be discussed. I can't remember exactly where we're at with it, but it dragged on forever, didn't it? And fellas said to me whilst we were having lunch here in the office, we used to do clients used to come, potential clients used to come and meet us in big groups, and now we do it on Zoom. But we're having lunch, and he said, my biggest concern right now is Brexit when it comes to property investing. I think I'm just going to hold off and see what happens for a while. And I was just like, wow, I'm not going to let that stop me. And in the 6 years since then,
that's all that's happened to prices.
Prices have gone up and up and up.
Yeah.
And I never saw that guy again. He never became a client.
Yeah.
Never. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But I always remembered that comment. And it's amazing how people can talk themselves out of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do about Brexit anyway. It took ages to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not doing something is an option. I'd always consider. A sensible person will say, I don't have to do something, but bear in mind if I don't, then my money in the bank's going backwards. Inflation is taking care of that, and it is better to be doing something. There are, if you've got lots of steps to get to where you've got to go, it's better to be taking lots of little ones rather than one big one. But we don't have to do something, but waiting for something to happen or not happen that's outside of your control, it's much better to have a plan. And our plan is to find the right houses in the right area, buy them at the right price, renovate them so we get our money in and out of them as quick as we can, and just keep doing that. And that makes us reasonably impervious to all of the macroeconomic stuff that we can't alter, which is probably a good job, because otherwise we'd be sat on the sidelines waiting forever.
Doom and gloom out there, whether you turn the news on and talk about anything, just keep your head while others are losing theirs.
Maybe that's another reason I buy so many, or I'm always chipper. I don't listen to the news. Turn the news off. Just don't. Get rid of the apps on your phone. Don't look at the news. Don't get a newspaper. It might make me totally ignorant, but having said that, instead of reading about all the coronavirus stuff, I read the University College report. Instead of reading about that mini budget, I read it, so I'm not totally ignorant. I just don't read the news. Make your own mind up. Plough your own furrow. Right, we've blathered on for too long. See you next week. And do all the things that you need to do. The subscriber numbers need to go up, and they are doing, but we want to hit. Well, we've got an undisclosed number. What we're going to do when we get our proper YouTube studio, which is still being built, by the way, it's onwards, maybe sometime in March we'll get in there. We should do a little video from there and just give people an update on it.
All right.
We're going to have a subscriber counter. You can get these things and it just goes up. And I want to start doing lives where they go up as you're on the call. Yeah.
Donate some money.
Yeah, donate some money to the charities. Yeah, good idea. But for now, subscribe, hit the bell, all those things that you can and do. Thank you very much. Thanks for your support. Bye for now.